It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Oh, let's review.
We'll analyze the scene.
Sounds holly and jolly to me.
Before it's over, let's begin.
Bum.
Bum.
Yeah, season's greetings, everyone. Tiki here.
And BlueDragonFive.
Please don't do that voice all podcast.
What,
welcome
you don't
to
like Jimmy Durante?
welcome to the final installment of Seasonal Shenanigans for 2016. Oh my god, BlueDragonFive, this is already the third year that we're doing this. Can you believe it?
Vaguely.
So every year, much like with Haunted Holiday Hijinks, every year we like to end things off with a special, like a tribute podcast, essentially, to one of the greats, one of the hallmarks of the Christmas specials. And the first year we did, of course, the Peanuts Christmas special, Charlie Bear and Christmas. Mm-hmm. Very, very iconic. Last year we did The Grinch, and Dragon, you mentioned last podcast, it just turned 50 this year, so maybe not the best timing on our end, but So this year...
if we did this one, we would have had to wait 3 years, so I wanted to do it now.
Okay, fair enough. So this year we are tackling Frosty the Snowman, the 1969 Rankin Bass production. Dragon, this is an interesting little movie. It's like... I don't necessarily know how many movies Rankin Bass did that weren't claymation, stop motion.
Yeah, not a big number there.
Right, so it's like you mentioned at the end of last show how this is definitely your favorite Rankin Bass.
Absolutely.
I mean, I agree with that. It is probably that's just because I don't necessarily like all the Rankin Bass all the Rankin Bass Christmas specials, the claymation ones. Because I don't really have a huge nostalgia for them like some people do. I honestly think they're a little clunky. I think the reason this works so well where some of the others don't is this is so simplistic. Whereas something like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer takes a story that's overall very, very, very simple and maybe stretches it out a little bit more than it should be.
This one's literally a song, yet they made it into a compelling story.
Exactly. So that's where I think the differentiation is. Probably my favorite of the Rankin Bass stop motion films.
Year of Santa.
Yeah, Year of Fat Santa Claus.
That's the Mr. Snow Miser, Mr. Heat Miser, right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I'll admit that's a good. That might be my number 2.
Overall, honestly, Rankin Bass, there's other works that they've done outside of the Christmas stuff that I like a little bit more. So, anyways, But Dragon, I'm sure you have a ton of nostalgia for this, so I'll let you get to it in just a second. But really quick, for me, I had the VHS of this as a kid. I also had the VHS of How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Guess which one got a lot more airplay at my house? The Grinch. It's not like I didn't like this. I certainly did like it. I have memories of it. It's just the Grinch was the one that I'd play over and over and over and over again. I was fixated on the Grinch. I was fixated with all things Dr. Seuss as a kid. Whereas Frosty the Snowman, it's nice. I liked it. It wasn't something I necessarily gravitated to as a kid. Ironically enough, I enjoy it now as an adult, probably a little more than I did as a kid, just because as an adult I can kind of appreciate the simplicity of it and kind of the animation. It's not the most spectacular animation by any means, but there's a certain charm to the animation, a certain kind of it feels very warm and homely, the animation. I don't know. So I definitely appreciate it a lot more as an adult. As a kid, it was just kind of ironic that those were the 2 big Christmas specials we had in our VHS collection, were Frosty and the Grinch. And I still think the Grinch is a better special. I don't want to compare hair things. Yeah, I don't it's kind of apples
and oranges.
Exactly. I think the Grinch is fantastic. This is really good.
It's figgy pudding and fruitcake.
But that's really all the nostalgia I have for it, is owning that VHS. Ironically enough, Dragon, this is weird now that I think about it, but you know what the supplementary thing on that VHS was?
What?
It wasn't you would think it would be like a Rankin Bass like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, right?
Oh wait, was yours Frosty Returns?
No, mine wasn't Frosty Returns. Mine was, oddly enough, the Max Fleischer Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, which we covered
Huh.
earlier.
Yes,
Which is really
yes.
weird. Like, now that I think about it, considering like they could have had something with the Rankin Bass Rudolph, but they went with I assume something that's in the public domain in the Fleischer Rudolph. If not in the public domain, probably very cheap to get. Because I have memories of that Fleischer Rudolph from another VHS, which was a compilation of Max Fleischer shorts like Popeye, Betty Boop, that kind of stuff. And that was on there. So, anyways, I digress. So go ahead, Dragon. I'm sure you have a ton more to say about it than I do. So what's your connection to this thing?
Well, I too had the VHS, but I got a long history in my family. I love them Frosty. My grandmother, it's her favorite. She loves Snowman. I think it all emanates from Frosty, but if not, she just loves the concept of Snowman. And I've been watching Frosty with her for years now. And oh my God, I got her tons of Frosty ornaments and like bobbleheads and stuff. Oh, she loves this. She loves the Snowman. She really does. I mean, no, she loves Olaf. She loves all the Snowmen. They even loves the Snowman. Because a snowman is kind of a blend of, she also likes Sean Connery, so it's kind of Connery and a snowman, so it's kind of a mixture there. So, but I tell you, just even without just kind of the personal nostalgia I got for it, just have nostalgia in general. Because again, watching that VHS tape, it's kind of a marvel of animation. It's simplistic. It's limited. It's limited. There are mistakes here and there. Not in the animation so much in terms of it's like the average animation of the time of like it's not going to be perfect, but there's some audio mistakes in it that it almost lends to the charm looking at it years later. I'm just like there's some audio syncing things that are they're definitely off here, but again, you just can't really beat the charm and the heart of the story. And it's really just from a storytelling level. It's so literally a song. They got a really compelling, very simple story of okay, kids build snowman. Snowman's all happy. The snowman is almost melted, and Santa comes to the rescue.
Right.
It's very simple.
Hold on, Drag. I'm gonna go ahead, but I'm gonna share the VHS cover that I had. I'm gonna screen share really quick. But go ahead.
Yeah, it's very simple. It's kind of the snowman's trying to avoid melting, so he's going to the North Pole. It's like it's a very simple, and that's grounded in great logic from like not only a kid's point of view, but anyone's point of view. Okay, well, in this whimsical world where snowmen can come to life, what would you do with them? It's kind of this. I think in a deep-seated way, it's kind of more a lot my love. It's playing into my love of the logical logic.
Oh yeah.
In a way, it's a testament. I mean, this thing's it's close to 50. It's about 3 years away from hitting 50. So this thing's been around for ages. Don't let the copyright fool you, folks. This came out in 1969. This came out in 1969. I believe the song is around since like 50 or 51. It's been around.
Yeah, just really quick. That's the Broadway video copy is what I had.
I had the not the plastic. I had the paper. The cardboard. I had the cardboard VHS tape.
Well,
it's like
keep in mind, it was distributed by several different companies over the years. So,
yeah.
But I just wanted to share that really quick.
I don't know how, but I have one that's like, if not no advertisements, it's like pretty much just the special. It's like the most streamlined VHS tape I've ever seen. I had so many good times watching that. Now I got on DVD a few years back because I used to just watch it on VHS tape, and of course then it would come on TV. So it's kind of the ways up. And now it's on YouTube. Just it's anywhere you can find. You can throw a rock and you'll hit it on YouTube. But it's in a good way, and we're lucky to have it on YouTube for easy, spur of the moment note taking.
Absolutely.
But yeah, just oh my God, just I can't say enough nice things about it. Got really nice performances from Jackie Vernon and of course, Jimmy Durante.
Of course, June Foray as well. The wonderful June Foray.
Of course, the one for June Foray. Who, oddly enough, she's kind of been in both specials. The one being honored this year, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and she actually did commentary on the Grinch finally.
Oh, okay, cool.
And she's in this. And also, as real quick, one thing I do want to note. I don't really have a lot of background. I do have one thing though, is that Jackie Vernon, who is the voice of Frosty in this, he actually the right guy because he did stand up. This guy, he's a performer, and he's also a comedian. He had a really great bit that I'm sure is the reason they picked him for Frosty, because he had this bit where he would go on stage and he had like a little clicker for a slideshow. But here's the gag: it was only a light. There was nothing being played, nothing being shown. So then he would narrate it like there was stuff being seen. Pretty much all of Frosty's dialogue sounds like this. It's pretty much like, you know, Frosty's going off on like basically these ridiculous tangents, or these ridiculous sort of like basically he'd be describing things that weren't there, or describing things of like, oh boy, that's a bizarre thing, I'll tell you. That's kind of how it went, you know?
Right.
And again, it was like, it was pretty much the same voice, just a little more happy-go-lucky in this version versus Sam. Just like, but very casual though, very nice. Again, he has a really kind of calm soothingness to the voice of like, oh man, what a nice guy. I feel joy with this special. So without further ado, let's just
he has a very everyman voice, I would describe it as.
Yes, and also we should mention, you know, Jimmy Durante is a very iconic rendition of the song here, of course. Like, I can't think of Frosty without thinking of this version of it being sung.
Sure.
I want to say, I think Gene Autry did one of the, if not the original version, then one of the other notable versions. Gene Autry, of course, who's sung some very classic Christmas songs, including some very noble Bates Motel songs.
You know, it's funny because I feel like that's kind of the Rankin Bass special, right? Is taking like these classic Christmas songs and, you know, and doing a full narrative with them. And like we said, I think Frosty the Snowman works a lot better than Rudolph does.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. If you hear this song being sung on the radio or something, you're always going to think of the special, because like they did such a good job of representing that, but at the same time giving you some great kind of visuals to go along with the auditory.
Whereas I'm sure people have that kind of association with Rudolph. Me personally, I think of the Fleischer cartoon, because that's the one I associate with a lot more. And frankly, I think this Fleischer cartoon told the same story a lot better in 8 minutes than the Rankin Bass did in like 40. But
it's all you can really think of with Rudolph is the tangents. You can only really think of the added materials. It's not remotely about.
Yeah, exactly.
See, Rudolph, there's a separation. There's a song of like, okay, Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you leave my side tonight? Versus a whole like, I want to be a dentist, and like, you know, like the guy licking the pick, and then like crazy monster.
Yeah, well said.
Yeah.
So,
anyway,
I think just the simplicity of this, like I said, I'm probably going to repeat this a lot, but the simplicity of this is like the beauty of it. It's just a great exercise. It's almost kind of like the Cat in the Hat of animated specials in a way.
Yeah, folks, never. Let me give a little piece of advice, a little piece of holiday advice to the nice folks out there. Folks, never mistake simplicity for cheap or for, you know, like inferior. Never mistake it for that, because the Batman the Animated Series, for example, one of the best animated series of all time. That series, of course, has a streamlined design to it, and that is very much in the Fleischer style. I'm not saying Fleischer is
way better in the first 2 seasons, but I digress.
my point is with Batman the Animated Series, you have just kind of it's a streamlined, like it's Batman without all like super. It's not painting every still. It's like, okay, it's streamlined so it can be animated. In this case, you have a similar thing of like, it may not be on model every frame here, but it's like a simple design of like, okay, it's in a style for this world, and it's communicating story at the bare bones, but it's just enough.
For sure.
So, let's get to Jimmy Durante.
Okay. So we start with Jimmy Durante as a very, very cool narrator type character.
Well, let me tell you this: in the other Frosty special, they have a running gag where they take a celebrity who's usually a singer or a performer of some kind. They have him as animated as themselves in the Frosty special. So Jimmy Durante's in the first one. He's bear in mind, it's the best of all the Frosty specials. Andy Griffith is the second best, and the second best Frosty special. That's the one we might do one year, by the way. It's with Crystal.
I always love me some Andy Griffith. I mean, come on now. That guy's a national treasure.
We'll definitely get to that one. If we ever get back into the Frosty well, we're doing that one next.
Okay.
There are about 4 specials, and the other 2 aren't so good. So, anyway, so the point is, okay, Jimmy Durante here starting us off, and he's very kind of quaintly animated in a way. I love that you can see like the painting lines for the mouth movement. Again, it's kind of dated animation in a good way.
You know what it reminds me of a lot? Is it and it's kind of funny given the June Foray connection, but it very much reminds me of Rocky and Bullwinkle.
I kind of see
like
that.
A lot.
Yeah. So
especially with these kind of characters, like not so much in the kids and Frosty and all that, but how these kind of characters are animated, like the typical like humans in the crowd. Very, very Rocky and Bullwinkle-esque, in my opinion.
That you're right about, yes.
Okay.
Crowd, I see more with the crowd than I do with Durante. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Durante, he tells us Basically, Dwayne tells us about how special the first snow of the season is. Especially that falls on the day before Christmas.
Mhm.
It makes the happy happy.
Makes the enemies into the best of friends.
Makes
It
the
makes coming
homecoming
home.
homier.
We have the same coming home this much more special. All right.
Yep. Again, I just love the visuals we get with that. It's like we see a guy sitting on a bench just getting really happy. That's all we need.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a pleasantness from the very beginning. It's like it's making a happy guy happy. It's making a guy coming home even feeling all more at home. And of course, I think one of the funny visuals is really just like the postman and the dog being best of pals for a moment.
Right.
But Fairly Odd Parents stole that bit.
Oh God. Yeah.
So the kids are in school.
Christmas snow hits, something wonderful is about to happen.
Yeah. So we see the kids are in school. They're eager to leave. They see the snow falling outside. What kid wouldn't want to? This is in the olden days, like the whole, as Grandpa Lou famously says, you have to walk 15 miles through the snow. So they're not getting out for snow early or anything. We have it too soft these days.
Dragon, I might have told this story once before, but I'll tell it again really, really quick. It's very quick, but the one day it ever snowed in Sonoma County, ever in my life, was like this day in I think it was November. And it wasn't a snow day, so I had to go to school. I honestly probably should have just taken the day off. I wish I would have just taken the day off from school. I was
should have gone to a museum, should have found me a Sarah, should have done all sorts of really crazy stuff.
Well, I mean, I was in elementary school at the time, so it wasn't like I was a high schooler and could have just ditched or something, But anyway, so the school basically kept us indoors all day, and for safety reasons, didn't let us play in the snow at all. And I was crestfallen. It's like by the time school got out and I wanted to just go up into the mountains or something and play snow with my dad, nope, all melted. I was like, wow, the one day it was amazing, Dragon. It's like I woke up in my backyard. It's like, oh my God, it's fucking snow. It's like I know Midwesterners have to deal with snow all the time, and it's a giant pain in the ass. But for me, living in California, it's fucking magical. Anyways, I'm sorry. I'll try and hold back on the language too. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. You had the Charlie Brown experience there of oh, hey, look, it's snowing. How delightful! You go out there, it's all melted. The first
pretty much. That's exactly what it was like. Yeah.
Just imagine this little peanut strip of feature. Basically, I'm gonna paint an image for a brief moment of a peanut strip, but imagine my co-host's head on the Charlie Brown body for a moment here, if you will.
I got the shirt to go along with it too.
Yes, your first panel. Snow outside of a classroom window. Little tiki body, little head looking all joyfully with a smile.
Yep.
Word balloon. Oh boy, snow. What a rarity. I can't wait to experience this. The next panel, running as fast as he can kicking the football style.
Yep.
Third, he's outside. All of that snow we saw in that first panel, it's all watered down rain. Tiki with a teardrop in the eye, looking sad, and you can just hear it because the panel's so striking.
Oh my God!
Da, 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 da.
Dragon, that's it. You captured it perfectly. That was the moment for me.
Back to Frosty.
All right. Yeah.
Point is, kids are in school. They're eager to leave and play in the snow, but they can't. And to the teacher's credit, she's keeping it seasonal. She's saying, we still have a Christmas party going on here. Mm-hmm. And who she got for the Christmas party? Now, she says she hired. I wonder if she's just throwing that around there because this guy, given his title professor, I imagine he's a teacher who's doing this on the side, but who knows?
I don't know. This is a weird villain, though.
I love Tiki, but the nostalgia, I saved it for this guy because my grandmother and I, our favorite part of the special, we love the magician.
Yeah, he's fun.
It's so we like him for a very silly reason though.
Okay.
We love him, and throughout the whole year, what we do is whenever it happens, our favorite line from Frost just keeps making its way all year round. It's coming up, so pay attention. So the point is, we meet Professor Hinkle here, Professor Hinkle the magician. And as Jimmy Durante puts it, and Professor Hinkle was the worst magician in the world. You're the worst magician in the world. That's not the line, but I'm just saying he's just saying that. So he's dropping props, and we have these sound effects guys. I do love the sound effects that are used for all this, but I always love it. It's like a wham! It's like all these just these bouncy noises. It sounds really fun. Anyway, so by the way, the magician is voiced by Billy DeWolf. Just a quick mention there, old school actor. Anyway, so it says. and I put the magic eggs in the hat, go abracadabra, to coin the phrase. He's so over the top and wonderful, by the way. So I love the way he delivers all his lines. It's so
great though, because it is charming, but at the same time, I feel like it's well played, because like you sympathize with the kids for not wanting to deal with it.
Yeah. It's like, okay, this guy really is not. He's such a desperate performer.
Right, exactly.
And here's the bit, Tiki. And he puts the eggs in the hat. He stirs them up, and of course, you know how you're supposed to go. It's not supposed to be what it is. So he turns around, and they turn into, as he tips that over, eggs just fall on the ground. They're all like, yeah, they're all unimpressed. And then here's the line, my grandma, we go nuts for it all year round. Whatever, something like, she's. Let's say my grandfather's he can be a messy guy now and again. Let's just say that much. And then, he spills things, he breaks things by accident. So there's excess of mess. So basically says, we love to say mess as he bends down with, holding the eggshells. And I love this. Again, I've contemplated just getting the image itself, because some people have sold like recreations of this image, not a cell from the original or anything, but him holding these eggshells going, messy, messy, messy.
Oh, it's a very fun delivery for sure.
We always use that thing. Like, someone spills the coffee, we just go in unison at the second one.
Messy, messy, messy.
I started, or someone starts it. Messy, messy, messy. Oh, that's delightful. He's using the hanky to wipe it up. Just such a desperate magician. Penn and Teller must get a kick out of this special. So, Professor Hinkle, he looks for Hocus Pocus. Where are you? He's looking in his hat for the rabbit. He tosses the hat. The only thing this hat's good for is the trash can. It almost knocks over the trash can. Hocus Pocus emerges, and I love this. There's another iconic visual from this thing of that hat with Hocus Pocus's feet.
Yeah.
Hocus is hopping away in the hat. The bell rings. The kids practically trample Hinkle. And this is a great line to suggest that he's probably like a science teacher or something. I don't know. Him saying, "Oh, you'd rather leave for some stupid frozen water?" So
right.
Kids. All right, thanks, sir.
Yeah, this is a really classic bit for sure.
Oh, yeah.
We're building the snowman. We're building the snowman. Build the head, Karen.
On the side, on and also just saying, good.
No.
But
there's always the most difficult part of the snowman.
Yes.
So they're throwing out all the names for it. Harold, no. Bruce, no.
Christopher Columbus.
Oatmeal.
And they pull this bit in the next one because they're making another snowman, so it's kind of funny they homage it. Then of course I believe Karen comes up with Frosty.
Yeah. The Dragon, I love how, I don't know, this is one of the moments that really got to me. It's like just them breaking out into that classic song,
Frosty the Snowman.
It's just, there's something so like gentle about that moment for me. I don't know.
It's just kids being really happy. Hey, look what we made together. We made like this awesome looking snow. Right. It's an awesome looking snowman too.
It is.
It makes no sense how they made it, but who cares?
Like, I can't even describe how that scene makes me feel. It's kind of like, it's very nostalgic for me.
Oh yeah,
for lack of a better word.
It's a great bit. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Again, I think.
And I also love how the camera kind of pulls back from them too.
Yes.
Very well composed. All right.
Yeah, I think I was about to say, I think I also would approve of this celebration of a snowman. Anyway, okay, that's enough of the Frozen. I just want to bring that one up. So it was like the whole. Hey, I think these kids want to build a snowman. Okay, we're done. So, Hocus Pocus.
You had to get that in there.
I had to get one in there, all right? God knows how many of that one. I don't know what you've been pulling that thing from, the whole, like, that snotty kid voice. I don't know what that's from. I think I know what it's from. I don't want to mention it because I don't want to get you doing it. So.
What snotty kid?
And you do, man. You need that one.
Yeah, fair enough. Anyways,
so, Hocus Pocus is chased by Hinkle. Hinkle's trying to get his rabbit and his hat back. The hat lands on wind, kind of gets the hat landing on Frosty's head, brings him to life. Moment of happy birthday. They're all amazed. Even Hinkle's like, oh my god, the snowman has come to life.
Meanwhile, Doug Walker is like, witchcraft! Stay out of my dimension!
And this guy, and then Hinkle's kind of realizing, he says, oh my god, it's magic, it brought me to life. And then Hinkle's saying, my hat magic. And he takes it back, realizing, this could be, I could be a bazillionaire magician.
Oh god, lots of bazillions in this special, right?
Yep, and Hocus Pocus disapproves. I love that Hocus Pocus is like the moral center here. They disapprove vehemently of, hey, that doesn't belong. As the kids point out, hey, it doesn't even belong to you. You threw it away. And then Hinkle's just trying to exercise some authority.
Don't talk back to your elders, you naughty, naughty little girl.
Yeah, bad Hinkle, bad talking down to a child like that.
I know, right?
Come on,
right.
That's not cool. Yeah, but anyway, so the kids try to make a case of like, hey, you threw it, but that's not fair. And he says, and then this is like a real kind of showing like the divide between kind of the hopefulness of children versus kind of the cynicism of adults, which can happen in real life even to this day.
Oh god, absolutely. It's a battle.
You silly children.
Silly.
Sorry, not. Yeah, you're right. It goes there. But you silly children believe everything you see.
Mm-hmm.
Snowman can't come to life. But we silly. I love the threes. I know the threes are awesome with this guy. They're so silly, but they're so wonderful. Okay, let's see. So then he leaves, and this bit really touches me, Teague, every time I watch it. It's so trying. This is like fitting all the pleasantries that we love. I don't know. I know it's not an actual pleasantry. I'm saying it feels really nice. Is that the whole, Frosty, we know you came to life. I just love how natural that kid is. They're like he and his brother, like they're twins or something. I just love that one. Usually it's one or the other, whatever. The one kid just says, oh, Frosty, it's okay. We believe you came to life. It's like that. That's acknowledgement of like, hey, you're alive even if you aren't wearing the hat to us today. Really nice.
All right. So that
we know. And then the intro starts, the Frosty, Snowman got the credits and everything. Then Jimmy Durante starts a song.
This is a great kind of a little bit of a fourth wall break here. The narrator's just like, now I want to make it very clear at this point. The hat did belong to Frosty and the children.
I love this PSA so much because what he's doing is he's making it clear. It's 2-bit. It's kind of like what Gonza did in Crystal Crowd. Bear in mind, I'm not saying it's directly pulled from it. I'm saying the whole acknowledging the audience, saying, saying like this. There's that line from Christmas Carol. Like this, if this is not understood, the rest of what follows will not make any sense. Essentially.
Mm-hmm. So I just want to make that clear because that means that what Hocus Pocus is about to do is entirely in the right.
Yes! I love that. It's like a little PSA kid saying, hey kids, it's not right to take hats, but you saw what this guy did, remember that.
Oh, and by the way, if you want to cough in your arm, not in your hand, stay in school.
And remember, kids, if you want to cough in the arm. Do no harm, cough in the arm.
Stay in school.
All right. So Hocus Pocus is a really clever thing. I've always loved visually. Like he just switches the hat with the reef. I just love seeing the image of. I just love the image of. I think I wonder if we put this in any of our pitches, and I think I may have once. Of just Hinkle is walking down there. He tips the wreath as a hat to a lady. Just gives him an oddball look.
Yeah, that's a funny.
Then Hocus Pocus.
Yep.
Let's see, Hocus Pocus returns. We get a glimpse of the traffic cop. He's going to come back later. One of your favorite guys does his voice.
Oh, of course. Well, we'll get to him. He does a couple voices.
And he comes back in the next Frosty special as bigger character.
Okay, interesting, nice.
And he's awesome. He's great in both of these. He's
another Rocky and Bullwinkle veteran.
He's actually 3 characters in this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So let's see. He's traffic cop. As we see the traffic cop. Then Hocus returns the hat to Karen and company. Karen puts it on Frosty's head, bringing him back, and again voiced by the wonderful Jackie Verne. Now we get more than a happy birthday from the Frost Man.
Yeah. As much as we like Olaf, this is just, oh my god, it's so endearing. It's such an endearing intro to the character. Just him discovering life for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, he puts Johnny Five to shame, very much so.
Oh god, screw Johnny Five. Johnny Five.
Except in Short Circuit 2, that Johnny Five is much more preferable.
All right. Well, I haven't watched any of those movies.
Well, that one has Chuck in it. Michael McKean.
Yeah.
Michael McKean.
Yeah, well, Jurassic World had a freaking, what's his name, Vincent D'Onofrio in it. That didn't make that movie any better.
Anyway, So, let's see. So the point is, he comes to life and wonderfully, a little slow, but wonderfully, because it makes sense. Like he doesn't have any brains in there. So of course, he's frozen water. What more do you want in terms of intelligence? He's sentient and he's sentient and he's nice. Let's just take what we can get from the guy. So, so basically, he's kind of realizing he delightfully puts it together. That he's alive. I can make words. I can move. I can juggle. I can sweep with the broom. I can count to 10, and he's counting is now going so well. At least I can count to 5, and I'm ticklish. What a neat! And this is one of my favorite lines. This just sums up why we love this Snowman.
What a neat thing to happen to a guy like me, to a nice guy like me.
What a neat thing to happen to a nice guy like me. Oh my God, it was what a wonderful line.
Yeah.
Seriously, that's like the most likable Snowman line ever.
But I love how spontaneously they break into song in this special, and how the song kind of keeps continuing. It's like a great kind of running theme of the whole special.
It's kind of like the Grinch breaks in the three verses, and this one's kind of sparse throughout in the right places.
Yeah, and as much as I love the Grinch, I think this is even more natural than the Grinch was.
Yeah, because basically the Grinches were montages. This is
exactly
the actual,
right.
The first time it was the narrator. Then here it's the kids bonding with Frosty, and later on it's kind of it's the end. It's naturally in there.
Ironically, the Grinch had Thurl Ravenscroft, who's like the big Disneyland voice, and then this has Paul Frees, who's like the other big iconic Disneyland voice.
Oh yeah. So they all dance around with Frosty, and they're having a grand old time. But then we have to undercut things with a little reality. And take this plays in your little story, share with us, right? Your little sad peanut story.
Yeah, man, I used to find that this short depressing because of the whole idea that Frosty was going to melt. And I know he turns out fine in the end. I realized that. I don't know, it kind of speaks to me having high anxiety even as a little kid, I guess. Because I was always just super concerned for Frosty and but he's going to melt. They can't take him out. It's I don't know. It was a weird kind of psychological thing for me as a little kid. That's all I got for it, but...
Well, you're supposed to feel a little, worried for Frosty, but in the end,
I guess. But I think as a little kid, I just took it more seriously than I should have.
Anyway, so Frosty's feeling a little warm. He discovers the thermometer's getting all red. Oh, I don't like it when thermometers get all red. Because when thermometers get all red, it starts to get hot out. When it starts to get hot out, I get all wishy-washy.
Yeah.
So then they realize, again, this is what I'm loving about this special. I think as a kid, it happened to me of I just kind of put together some of my personal taste, I guess. It's just the whole, it's for the illogical thing of a snowman coming to life is made very logical. But if it did come to life, that's your miracle exception. Snowman comes to life. Well, what next? Okay, it's starting to get hot out. He would start to know how do you prevent that? Well, the place is always cold. Well, the only place I'd never melt would be the North Pole. That gives all the kids an idea. Well, let's just do that. It's the whole
let's just take them down to the railroad station. I love how the North Pole is an actual destination on the train.
Absolutely. But much like Fred Claus, it's pricey getting to the North Pole.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, it's last minute too. This is both of those are on Christmas Eve.
That's true. Okay, so we have another refrain of the song. We have the verse.
I love it. Frosty
let's
says
run and we'll have some fun before I melt away. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I love he wants to make a party of it. Let's make a party out of it. Let's go into the train. A parade.
Again, I really love how naturally the song works into the plot and how the lyrics reflect what's going on.
Yeah, the band's playing, they're marching down the way. People are all struck in the meantime. They're dropping their gifts. You have the barbershop gag with the guy with half a mustache.
I can relate to that gag because,
You've lost half a mustache?
No, but I've tried to shave around mustaches before, tried to shape it and then lost too much of it and was damn it, I have to shave the whole thing off now.
That's the only scene we were missing in that story where Gordon loses his mustache.
Oh, no.
Hey, maybe that's they can open. Oh, maybe we get a prequel episode to Gotham. Gordon has a mustache.
What story are you even talking about?
In one of the Scott Snyder stories, Gordon he doesn't have the mustache.
God.
He loses the mustache through a story arc. I don't mean I've told you this before, but he kind of for the story he has to lose the mustache. And I don't know. We never saw him shave it off, so we could actually see the missing chapter of that story of the loss of the mustache.
No, I'm telling you, man. Like trying to shape a mustache is like it's hazard if you're trying to grow it out. You know, it's like, oh god, like I want to thin it out just a little bit, but if I thin it out too much, it'll be uneven. And then if I I don't know. It's a lot of anxiety with shaping a good mustache. Anyway,
So if these gets directed on, we could have a short on the DVD
oh god,
of the upcoming Batman or Justice League film, which is Gordon's mustache tutorial.
So, Dragon, any other facial hair you want to talk about before we move on?
No. Well, no. We're
The
good.
facial hair on Adam Driver in the new Martin Scorsese movie looks quite fascinating. Anyways,
Okay.
I digress.
So we have the lady with the mirrors getting scared out of her gourd, looking at the
Oh.
the snowman, the children following it. So it then goes to follow the leader, and then leapfrog, which is kind of a nice jovial thing to do with the snowman. And then they bump into one of my other favorite characters, Shore the magician, the traffic cop. Cop says, and the traffic cop, put them to a stop.
And of course, this is the first of 3 characters we're going to get voiced by the wonderful, the talented, the all-encompassing Mr. Paul Frees. Oh my god, I love this guy so much.
He's so darn good. He gets even better in the next one, too, but he's really good here.
I'm excited. Paul Frees, just what can you say? One of the all-time greats in the voice acting field, in my opinion. Just all-time greats. Of course, I think maybe his most iconic role he ever did was the ghost host in the Haunted Mansion. So many other things besides that, though. Like he was Boris and Rocky and Bullwinkle. Just a great all-around multifaceted guy. Of course, he was. Oh, what's that guy's name? Shit, I always forget his name. Ludwig von Drake.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. So
now Corey Burton. I think Corey Burton's taken over that role since.
Well, Corey Burton is basically like the stand-in for anything Paul Frees. I mean, he's a stand-in for a lot of things, but his specialty is Paul Frees. But anyways,
yeah.
So I could go on and on about how much I love Paul Frees, but
let's see. So I love the traffic cop here. I mean, I don't know. Maybe as a kid, has played my love of cop characters. I don't know. I don't want to dive too deep into it. You don't get any scary layers. Right?
Of course.
Point is, Paul Frees is doing the voice of traffic cop here, and he's says he thinks Frosty's being a wise guy. He's playing dumb. And he says,
"What's a traffic light? What's a lamppost?"
Oh, do you want a ticket? He says, "Yes, to the North Pole, please." And he's confused. What? he's confused. And then I love this. I love Karen just very, very politely explaining, "Sorry, sir, you're going to have to excuse him. He just came to life." Says,
well, if he just came to life.
Silly snowman. Once they come to life, once they come to life, they don't know nothing. Then a moment of pause goes by. Come to life, and this is a funny running gag where he's blowing the whistle with the personified musical notes coming out of it, and then he accidentally swallows it, and he's like, we know he's okay, but still, it's the fact that now he is making music with his gas for air. Anyways, then we're at the train station, and we have the ticket.
Go from one Paul Frees voice to another.
Yes, and as a kid, I went nuts for this. I loved this sequence as a kid. I've grown appreciation for the messy. Again, it's been a runner for a long time, but this to me is always one of my standout moments from Frosty. Is I love this ticket clerk. Because basically they asked for 1 ticket to North Pole, please, and I just love this long, old school kind of the ticket process with these these bouncy, cartoony sound effects. And as we see the process, like in the old days, what they had to do to make a big ticket for a round trip like that, it's like all these he's stacking them, shuffling like cards. He stamps them, and it's great. I think Tom Hanks and Polar Express learned something from this guy. So.
That'll be $3,000.04, please.
And plus tax.
Plus tax, yes.
Plus tax, which again, it may not be kind of the Fred Claus numbers it is today. But back then, it was the same equivalent. It's a lot of money. And then, of course, we have the best line. Okay, as much as I love messy, the only thing that rivals that, and in Paul Frees's delivery versus Billy DeWolf's delivery here, you have one of the best Paul Frees deliveries I can muster. They say, we don't have any money. No money!
No money!
Love that! No money, no ticket.
Yeah, it's fun.
And then I just love the music, and this is great too. It's like the whole da, 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 da. I love this. That's sad music in this.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Part of me, just for the sheer novelty of it, I would love to hear just if that could somehow be applied to a sad moment in Bates Motel.
Of course.
Like things aren't going Norma's way, then we hear da 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 da. Like Chick Hogan kind of issues the semi-threat, and then he says da da.
Okay.
Just saying. Okay, so then Karen's very worried. Frosty's not looking good for him here at this point. So Hocus then points out, thankfully this rabbit is very astute. Hocus points to the refrigerated boxcar, which conveniently, I love see, there's so much coincidence in this, but you don't give it any mind because you're so sucked in. You're so, oh my God, it's also nice.
Again, it's just kind of like the simplicity thing. You know what I mean? You don't think at all about what's happening in the plot. It's not supposed to be like...
It's like they sell you on it halfway, and the rest of it's just the charm takes you the rest of the way. But okay, well, you're at a train station. There's a boxcar. It's Christmas.
Exactly.
Christmas cakes. The rest of it's okay. It just kind of makes sense. Like in the North Pole conveniently, and it's heading to the North Pole conveniently, with ice cream and Christmas cakes in one of the cars. So Frosty asks, and now here's the thing where it's not, I want to make it clear, it's not Frosty's fault here. He doesn't know any better. He's a snowman. Again, it's liquid water in his brain right here. So Frosty asks if Karen's coming along, because he doesn't know any better. And she figures, because she's a kid, again, you give her props for it, she figures, well, as long as I'm back for supper.
Right.
So then even Hocus Pocus joins the little crusade here as they all wave goodbye.
And talk about anxiety, Dragon. This whole bit with Karen freezing on the snow car, it always got me freaked out as a kid.
Now tell me this. So you see, now the anxiety is shifting. It's shifting from Frosty to Karen, right?
No, very true, and that is very effective. But I'm just saying, as a kid, I was like, I was just super worried about it.
Yeah, well, I was worried for Karen as well, yeah. So let's see. So we're on the little journey now. We have a little button before we reach the next scene where we find that on the bottom of, I guess, the caboose is Hinkle stowing away under the train. Says, "Oh, if it's the last thing I'll do, I'll get that. Think nasty, think nasty, think nasty."
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. So then Jimmy Durante, once again, he is explaining, a boxcar is a great way to travel if one is a snowman or if one is a furry rabbit. But for Karen, not so much. As we see, she's sneezing, she's getting cold, and bear in mind, the way it's animated, it looks like she doesn't have any pants on, but again, points bare legs.
Oh,
it's not
really?
Good.
Oh, God.
No, get your mind out of the gutter. I'm just saying she has bare legs, all right?
All right, fair enough.
She doesn't have snow pants on, all right?
All right.
Come on, we're talking about June Foray here.
No, but I mean, speaking of animation, I mean, they do a good job of like legitimately making it look like she's getting sick. I'll give it credit for that.
Let's see, Karen's in rough shape right now. And Frosty, again, Frosty's he has more heart than he does brain. So again, his heart can definitely tell him, okay, someone I care about is in danger here, so I got to think of something here. So basically, Frosty realizes he has to get Karen warm. I love how responsible Frosty is, in retrospect, because he didn't really, he just kind of asked her, he didn't really tell her to or beg her to. Go on. Frosty realizes he has to get Karen warm. They leave the car at the next stop. As the train pulls away, Hinkle feels tricked as he exclaims as it's revealed to Frosty. And oh my God, the magician's following us. How eerie is that?
Right.
And the magician is following them. Then Hinkle makes a jump for it. And this is like, I'll look past it because of the charm factor, but here's a big glaring mistake. The biggest glaring mistake of the whole special
is that Frosty takes her out of the boxcar instead of like just going to another car or something like that.
No, that's not it.
What?
It's very simple. It's just that when Hinkle jumps here, just the sound effect is way off.
Oh, okay. I didn't even notice.
Oh yeah, it's like really. Every time I watch, it's like wow. It's really like when he jumps and he falls, like we hear the icicles falling, all the stuff. It's like after he's fallen way already, like 2 minutes go, like a minute goes by and everything's still falling.
Oh, okay.
Really,
I'll have to go back and check that.
But yeah, if that's like the biggest, that's a not even a con. I'm just saying it's like a little.
I think I was just so wrapped up in it at this point that I was like, whatever.
That's what I'm saying. You don't care. It's a little fun little all ears off, but who cares?
Yeah.
All right, let's see. So snow, lots of it.
Yeah, but speaking of which, I mean, I just, it is one of those things with Frosty where his heart is coming from a good place of getting her off that train, but not exactly. It's kind of like a little more heart than brains, as you say, because it kind of puts her in a worse situation, honestly.
Yeah, as Kevin Smith likes to say about Jason Mewes, bear in mind, very bizarre comparison, but $1 million heart nickel head.
Oh God.
Bear in mind, of course, in regards to two very different situations. But let's continue forward here. So,
Oh God, yes.
Frosty is putting distance between him and Hinkle. So, again, Frosty does have some sense. Bear in mind the child in jeopardy. But, Frosty's putting distance between him and Hinkle because he knows, okay, magician wants to take that. It's pretty simple. Get away from the guy. Still, kid in the arms. Needs to get warm. Fast. Frosty can't make fire. I can't make it fire. Boy, that's one thing I can't do. I can't make fire. Luckily, again, convenience all throughout this thing. But again, you give it a pass. One, because it's the holiday. Two, because you're a nice guy. And three, because it's Frosty.
Yeah.
So luckily, they find that woodland animals are. This is such a bizarre statement to make, but just go with me on it. They find that woodland animals are decorating for Christmas for Santa to visit them. I'll go with it.
Dragon. Oh God.
Hey, woodland creatures can be
logically,
naughty or nice too.
I don't necessarily have a problem with it, but I would say, like, if you're going just the pure logic of it, it's the biggest stretch in the special.
Yeah, but again,
Of course, fucking woodland critters would be the solution. Of course, duh, naturally.
Well, Oaken doesn't live here. As the last Frozen Earth, it's like, oh, we don't have any saunas here.
Also, I promise you, I won't explain in graphic detail how South Park mimics the whole Woodland Critters Christmas thing, but suffice to say, Woodland Critters Christmas on South Park is amazing for all the wrong reasons. Anyways, that's all I'll get into on that much.
But as absurd as it is, isn't it kind of...
Santa, you wouldn't kill me, would you? All right, I'm sorry.
But as absurd as it is, you gotta admit, it's kind of cute that all these woodland creatures are getting ready for Santa.
I mean, I guess. Like I said, it's a bit of a stretch for me, but
it's
whatever.
Nice! Getting ready to decorate in the woods. The actual Christmas tree is being decorated by woodland creatures. I mean, with this Santa's so good he can even hit the animals. Come on.
The time is here. The time that only comes once a year. It's a woodland critter Christmas.
Anyway, Hocus asked for help. And this is great. I have another Kevin Smith game. Hocus asks for help, and he kind of mimes it, and we don't hear what he's saying, of course, but I think he achieves kind of this beckoning call for help a lot better than Ollie Trinky does in Jersey Girl.
Oh, God.
That's I know a lot of people take cheap shots at Jersey Girl. I can forget everything except that one bit. I hate that non-speech in Jersey Girl.
Yeah, I appreciate Jersey Girl for what it is.
Yeah, I'll cut that movie all sorts of breaks, but that speech without a speech. I know it's in like a deleted scene, but still, man, come on, who does a speech without a speech?
All right.
Anyway, so responsibly, and I love this. This is a great little PSA moment. Again, they do it very well. Responsibly, as Jimmy Durant points out, they built a fire away from the trees. You basically built a fire away from the trees outside the wooded area, which is what you want to do, so it doesn't catch fire. And Frosty's keeping his distance, keeping a good lookout, keeping a vigil as Karen is getting warmed up. So everything's going aces right now. Everything's going fine, but still, Frosty and Hocus, they're kind of confirming with each other. They're figuring out, okay, we gotta get her home and meet to the North Pole. It's kind of a if so factly. I can't take her home, or else I'm gonna melt. But I can't take her to the North Pole, or else she will do the opposite.
Sure.
Which leads to wonderfully mined kind of some ideas coming from Hocus Pocus. This is so charming. So we got Hocus kind of he's mimicking, okay, well, who are we going to ask for help? And then we have the Marines. Good idea. Not exactly here.
Not the President of the United States. I like where you're coming from.
Which at this time,
find someone nearby.
Would you like to know which president they're talking about?
1969, that would be Nixon.
Yes, it would. For a moment, I was really hoping it was going to be Lyndon Johnson. He would have made a Cranston reference, but no, it's not. But Kevin Spacey. No. But seriously, it's so we have the Marines, the president, and I love this. This just shows you how nice a character Frosty is. Oh, those are swell ideas, but we need someone nearby.
Mm-hmm.
Really nice. Again, he's not poo-pooing the ideas, and then of course
Hocus.
Yeah. So
that
then,
guy's awesome. He can do anything.
yeah. So then we have the Santa idea. And Hocus come up with the ideas. Love how we have a great kind of animal sidekick here.
Sure.
So Frosty tells Hocus to bring Santa when he visits the woodland animals again. At least they're useful. I mean, if they're going with this, at least they're making not a random thing. I mean, again, it's very very plot driven. Okay, he's going to stop by, see these guys, drop off some gifts. Hey, Santa, a little help here. It's going to solve everything. Frosty waits patiently through the night.
Mm-hmm.
But then, want to take it?
Oh yes, sure. Suddenly, Hinkle appears. And I really like just really quickly, I really like the animation on the shadows and the fire. Like,
the fire's very well.
I think it's probably the best bit of animation in the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
I know it's kind of a random thing to point out, but anyway, so...
Oh, a campfire. Now, isn't that all snug and comfy? Blows it out.
I like how you just blow it out like a freaking candle. Because that's
like
logical,
a sneeze,
right?
It's almost like a sneeze, too. But you saw how big his mouth was. You saw how big his head is, though. You can kind of buy it. But then Frosty, again, I love this a good moment of Frosty, just showing how much of like a heroic guy this is. He's springing to the child's defense, like, no! He's saying, oh, no. Hinkle's almost is gonna doom this poor girl. Mm-hmm. So Frosty springs into action. I love this. So he shows you. So he demands now you listen here. I want my hat or else. And then again, I love how friendly Frosty's animated here. He's like the most friendly way. He's asking, or else what?
Don't bother me with the details.
Just give me that hat. And then this leads to the belly whopper chase.
Oh yeah, which is really fun.
Because Frosty is the fastest belly whopper there ever was. He's going down there, and I love the animation on Hinkle chasing him. It's so ridiculous. He runs like the letter G almost. You know, he runs down the hill. Letter G. Seriously, am I right? He runs like the letter. Both lowercase and uppercase. He just runs like the letter G down the hill. I don't mean to go Sesame Street on you, but that's what he does. He's all curled up. It's like the letter G. So after the G chase, Frosty and Karen, they happen upon the poinsettia greenhouse.
And this is probably my favorite plot contrivance in the special, honestly. Yeah. Because it's like, yeah, sure. It's like poinsettias, they're a tropical flower. They are very... they are very much used in the holidays. And sure, there would be a greenhouse for them. Why not? I can go with that. I can go with it a lot more than woodland critters, honestly. But
so Frosty pulls a very heroic move here where, he's got to warm Karen up. He's doing the responsible thing. So he walks her in there because, she's not really in walking shape at this point. He says, Frosty, you'll melt. Oh, it's okay. I'll only be there for a little bit. Besides, I've been meaning to take a little weight off anyway. Oh, my God. Yeah. Someone give this snowman a medal. Give him a snow medal. Someone. Mm-hmm. Am I right?
Oh yeah.
Hinkle then locks Frosty in very maliciously.
That is definitely like the one move that Hinkle does. That is thing.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I was just saying that's like the one thing that Hinkle does. That's like a total like evil move. The rest of it is just kind of like. He's more bubbly than anything else. You know what I mean?
I love how non-violent it is, though. He just closes the door. He just locks the door. That's this big villain move. It's like he's not hurting. He's not getting physical. Thing. It's just he's been chasing ahead and he closes the door.
Sure.
Yet he's still very menacing because of that. Because of just the implication of what he's done. It's like, oh no, he's gonna melt the snowman. He locks him in. Like, oh no, it's like a collective audience. Oh no. Mm-hmm. He's gloating over that hat's going to be mine. Then Santa arrives. Not yet quite voiced by the great Paul Frees. That'll be coming up. Hocus mimics. He mimes the situation. Also notice that Santa has 4 deer. I guess he's cutting back or 2 of them are sick. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so let's see. So also, it's good. I love this. Great. Again, this is more conveniency, but ridiculous conveniency to the point where it's so entertaining. Let's just. Luckily, Santa speaks fluent rabbit.
Of course. Yeah, no, you're right. I think that is kind of the special, almost like poking fun at itself at that point.
It's like, luckily Dory speaks whale. It's just we get a lot of.
Oh God.
Now explained, bear in mind. Now it's explained, but before there was a time where it's like.
Well,
okay.
I was going to ask, man, did they explain the rabbit thing in any of the sequels?
No, I don't. No, they only explain the rabbit. Yeah, that's
fair enough.
Oh, I should mention this one might intrigue you, but it's also going to make you crestfallen. The third not so good Frosty special. It's actually done by Bill Melendez, who brings a peanut style to Frosty, but it's not good. So. Anyway, so let's see. At least I think it's Bill Melendez. It's one of the Peanuts animators. I'm pretty sure it's Melendez. Anyway, so point is, Santa's on the scene. He's been informed by the Rev because he speaks Rev, thankfully. They follow the path. They follow the belly whopper path, and they discover one of the most quite literally heart melting shots of the whole special. Tell me this doesn't make you feel something. They discover Karen weeping over the.
Oh yeah, it's again, Dragon. This is exactly what I'm talking about when I say like traumatic childhood memories. I'm like, no, not Frosty.
But you gotta watch it till the end.
Man. Game over, man.
It's all good, buddy.
The world is doomed. It's World War III.
You gotta stay till the credits, man. You gotta stay till the end. Oh, but seriously, oh my God, Karen weeping into this beautiful vision. Such a beautiful, tragic visual, isn't it? There's like the melted body with all the bodies that are like the broom, the eyes, the nose, the corn cup. Oh, it's all there. Mm-hmm. And then we in like her tear creates this wonderful little reflection effect in the water. Then we reflect back to they're all joyously as they have the Jimmy Durante singing the tragic rendition of Frosty the Snowman.
I mean, you want to talk like sad, like the sad Frosty music. This is like just full on, like we're just going to milk this song as sad as we can.
Oh, Frosty! It sounds so triumphant too. Like it's like the in memoriam Frosty. It's like, oh God, he was so. Why'd you take him, Summer? Why?
Oh,
why? Darn you, hate you, kill me.
Can you imagine like a tragic version of In Summer for Olaf? I'm sorry I keep bringing it back to Frozen, but the skies will be blue.
I can picture the hilarious yet tragic version of that.
Oh God.
Okay, follow me on this.
Okay.
A dubbed version of that scene. Sang by Bryan Cranston.
Oh,
I'm just saying, just sang by this with the impassion that with bringing like the Emmy brings. He was the whole like, the sky will be blue, and you'll be there too. But I get to do what frozen things do.
Oh
in
no!
Summer.
Oh no!
And of course, he kind of dies in a familiar style, just as we kind of just linger on as we pull away and we just have a song play. Anyway, yeah. Perhaps a Jimmy Durante song just to bring it back, bring full circle. And a corn cob pipe and a button nose and 2 eyes. Okay, anyway, so back off the sadness a little bit. Okay, so on to some heartwarming Paul Freesy goodness.
Oh my God, freaking Paul Freese just comes in to save the day, right?
My God, how great a Santa is Paul Freese, am I right?
Oh, I mean, he's the best Santa this side of Ed Asner.
Oh, yeah, it's really good. So, he's comforting, the way he comforts Candace, he has this big, boom, almost kind of James Earl Jones-like voice.
It's kind of funny because usually it's Thurl Ravenscroft who does that. You don't usually see that much from the Paul Freese performances.
And I love it sounds different from the other two characters in a way.
It does. I think the other two characters are more in line with what he usually does.
Yeah, as well as the next performance in the next one. It's good, but it's a livelier character.
Okay.
So, point is, Santa, as he's comforting Karen, and basically, he says, "Oh, Karen, he's not gone for good. He's made of Christmas snow.
Yeah.
And Christmas snow can never disappear completely." So one of the most heartwarming, like reassuring, like if you want to hear some bad news, you want to hear good news delivered to you, got to hear it from this Paul Freese Santa. It's like the moral of Christmas Santa is the one you want. He's saying, Christmas snow can never disappear completely. Sometimes it goes away for a year at a time, and takes the form of. And this is the heartwarming part right here. He says, and it takes the form of spring and summer rain. But you can bet your boots when a December wind. But when a December wind kisses it, it'll turn into Christmas snow all over again. Oh my God! How wonderfully hopeful is that?
Oh, it totally is. Yeah, I mean, I don't have. It's just yeah.
Yeah. So he says, she says yes and no. This is heartbreaking. This is one. June Foray's best delivery is here in the scene where she says, "Yes, but he was my friend."
Oh God, June Foray. Yeah, wonderful.
Oh, and they says, "Just watch," and basically opens the door, and of course it's maybe there's some Santa magic on this one. Who knows? But it's wonderful. He opens the door, and the December wind kisses it, and that snow just guys.
I love the conceit of like the puddle of water turning back into the snowman. How the wind like picks up the water.
I tell you, the thing that really sells you on is that performance, and it is like that whole the phrasing, like the whole December wind kiss. It's a lovely conceit. Okay, it's it's such a special snow that when it skids, you can capture it's the same magic. It's like matter. It's changing form.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So then it constructs Frosty again. Again, convenient, but who cares? That thing's full of conveniency, but who cares? Again, I got to pull the Pixar
Critters thing is the one that even slightly bothers me.
I got to pull the
nitpick.
I got to pull the Pixar quote on this one. It never counted for more in seasonal shenanigans than it does right now. It's the whole from the Pixar commentary. It's from the Toy Story commentary. We got them in so far at this point. Like, we don't care. It's just the collective. We don't care. We got them at this point. It's a movie. In this case,
thank God it doesn't end with Frosty as a pile of water, right?
Yeah. Anyway, so then Frosty is formed again, but he's not complete. The hat is not. Hocus has the hat again. Then the magician tries to get the hat back, but he's up against Santa Claus this time. But, oh boy, you don't want to go up against Paul Free Santa Claus.
No.
There's only a more intimidating thing. The only thing more intimidating than Darth Vader as Santa Claus is probably Ed Begley Jr. angry at you as Santa Claus.
As Santa Claus. Oh God.
I'm not saying like Ed Begley Jr. in like a dime store Santa. I'm saying Ed Begley Jr. in a Santa costume, but with like an actual white beard.
Like, no, if Ed Begley Jr. just played Santa Claus, but he played like a very like managerial Santa Claus.
Yeah, I'm saying he has like sharp glasses, and the beard it's like a here's the thing, it's not like a beard that goes in, it's like facial, it's like an Iron Man goatee, but it covers he's unshaven, but it's all white.
Oh God.
That's an Ed Begley. That's the most intimidating Ed Begley Jr. Santa Claus you'll ever see. Anyway,
so Paul Frees, he's basically just like, if you so much as lay a finger on the rim of that hat, I'm never giving you another Christmas present for as long as you live. And
then we have one of the. I got the magician. Oh God. I love this ending so much for the magician. So he's so sad, very sad, wonderfully delivered. He says, Hinkle ponders, no more trick cards, no magic balls is nothing. And then he kicks the can. It's a random can that appears to make his point. He kicks the can, and he says, well, that's not fair. I mean, here's one of the best lines. He just says, I mean, we evil magicians need to make a living too.
He says it as if there's like some sort of like evil magicians union that's like really struggling.
It's awesome. And then
like, you got like Gargamel from the Smurfs in there.
Yeah. And I tell you, this to me, I think is one of the best.
Saruman from Lord of the Rings. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think this is one of the best seasonal villain defeats ever.
Well, right. I am very sorry for what I did to Frosty 100 billion times, and maybe
zillion. No, it's zillion.
It's zillion. Oh God.
I know, right?
And maybe, just maybe, you'll find something underneath your tree this year.
A new hat, maybe?
No, Dragon, I just want to take a time to appreciate like how impractical it is for this guy to write that sentence. I thought it was 100 billion times, and
it's 100 zillion. It's 100 zillion.
Just the fact that it's like already like Christmas Eve night, and
but we brought it to him.
Sure, sure. But
We actually have evidence of this. He does.
okay, okay. But I'm just saying, it's a very funny demand, though.
I know, but it's Santa saying, like, we give you an impossible thing to do, keep you out of trouble, and you off to the side. And again, it makes you question, but if you stay till the credits, you see he does, in fact, get the hat.
Mm.
So it's just really nice. It's just like, a new hat, maybe? Oh, yes, sir. Sorry to lose and run, but I've got to get busy.
Again, rule of threes.
And again, that one's short of the messy. Really, it's another fun one. Comes back now and again. Anyway, so Frosty's then comes back to life. Happy birthday! They all dance around. Again, it's Frosty, this little girl, Santa Claus, and a rabbit dancing in a circle. But it's so whimsical. You gotta love it. They all dance around.
It kind of reminds me of Snoopy dancing with the bunny rabbits in Easter Beagle a little bit.
Right. Yes. So then Santa, graciously gives them both a lift. Kind of Santa should run himself as a travel agency. Santa gives him a lift, gives Karen a lift home, and Frosty's to the North Pole with that back with him because again it's kind of a round trip anyway.
Mm-hmm.
The only actual gripe I kind of have, and believe me, I'll look past it because I love it so much, but still, minor gripe keeps eating away at me every time I say it. Santa just leaves this child on a roof with no chimney. This kid is stranded on that roof. Thankfully we had the credits. You know, if we didn't have a credit scene, the magician would get his hat, and Karen, well, she'd be stuck on the roof. Let's say that much.
Yeah, and I did. That's one of those things where it was so deep into the movie at that point that I was like, "What?" I didn't even notice it. But yeah,
exactly. We're at the Pixar. We don't care.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, so but Frosty, and then here's the ending we get. This ending to me, Tiki, I think it's played so wonderfully. As Jimmy Durante reassures us, we also get to see it. I think wonderfully, it's played so wonderfully at the end. So as Jimmy Durante is telling us, this is. But Frosty returned every year to celebrate with greeted by a Christmas parade as well. Mm-hmm. So then we see Hinkle with his new hat and the traffic cop. He's in the groove now with the Snowman. You know, they're all in the parade along with everyone else, and now they're in it too. Then it ends with, oh yeah, this is so reassuring. Nice. Durante says to the audience, he breaks the fourth wall. He just says. With Frosty, Christmas was very merry indeed. Then he breaks fourth wall here. And you have a Merry Christmas too. And then here's the bit. As the credits go by, as it reaches the very end, this is like such a great crescendo to go out on with the Frost song. If you're going to do it one more time, you got to do it like this. Like the whole, but as he waved goodbye, saying don't. And by the way, let me explain, folks. I wrote the intro and outro for, at least the outro. I know I definitely wrote the outro for this season of Shenanigans. This is where it comes from, if you weren't surprised already. So it's so powerful, I had to put it. That's why it's in the outro for this spot. Because I don't even
notice that until you just pointed it out right now, but I feel
because I have. That's why the outro to season Shenanigans is because I can't think of a better way to end the season Shenanigans than the line from the ending is Frosty. And it's like, but as he waved goodbye, saying, "Don't you cry, I'll be back on Christmas Day." And of course the music, da 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 da. Oh, it's beautiful.
Yep. And that's it.
Want to do it again?
Not really, because
I'm kidding.
I have to work tomorrow.
I know, I'm kidding. Boy, that was a good special.
Oh yeah. I don't have much final thoughts about it, other than, like we said, simplicity is key here. It's a special that absolutely goes out of its way to prove that something so simple can be incredibly charming, incredibly memorable, and an embodiment of the holiday spirit in its simplicity. So I love it for that reason. Dragon, obviously you have more of a nostalgic connection to it than I do, but it's an adult looking at it. I appreciate it. It's not the most sophisticated piece of animation. I'd say The Grinch is probably way more sophisticated than this is, just in terms of the animation style and everything like that. But it's very loving. It's I think it's the animated embodiment of sitting next to the fire with a warm cup of hot chocolate. You know what I mean? It's cozy. That's the best word I have for it, is cozy.
Yeah.
Without the childhood crippling anxiety of worrying that Frosty's going to die. So, all right, go ahead.
Again, for me, it's a seasonal must. It's kind of like one of those. Disney had a great quote, which he had this great quote. I'm going to paraphrase slightly here. Is basically he talked about that unspoiled spot. That's just me bearing it down because I can't remember the rest of the quote. Bear in mind, they had this great quote about the intention of any great movie, any great animated movie in his case, is like you bring people that unspoiled spot of like just wholesome entertainment. Like really, it makes you feel good in the moment.
Oh yeah.
And I think this is kind of that unspoiled spot of Christmas specials. Of course, not for Disney, but I'm just saying it's in the spirit of like it's that unspoiled spot. It's just wholesome goodness. Even if again there's a lot of conveniency, it's about the only negative thing is about it's a lot of conveniency, and maybe the animation or the syncing of sometimes is a little off. But who cares? It's so nice. This has longevity. It's appreciated to the day. I mean, for me, the trinity of Christmas specials, it's always going to, I think we can agree on this. I think the trinity of Christmas specials, it's going to be the Grinch, the Peanuts, and Frosty. For me, it's Frosty.
Shit, what are we going to do for year 4 then?
Don't worry, we have stuff.
I'm sure we do.
I'm saying the trinity, the three.
I'd like to cover some, not necessarily for the finale, but I definitely think year 4 we should look at White Christmas is one of the things I'm definitely considering for year 4.
Bear in mind, folks, this is not official. We're just
No, it's not official. I'm just kind of. Anyways, Dragon, I guess that's it for seasonal shenanigans. Then we're recording this in the wee hours of Christmas Eve, 2016. So, have a Merry Christmas yourself, sir. And folks, I'll be uploading a couple videos throughout the weekend, but it'll probably be pretty light on the channel. We're just about to reach 500 subscribers, Dragon. We just got to 499 tonight, so
we'll see.
We're gonna hit it. But I will be uploading. Specifically, I'll be uploading a video about my entire pin collection so far in 2016. That's going to be an update of all the pins I got in Disneyland, how my Mary Blair collection's coming along, all that good stuff. I'll be filming that over the weekend, uploading it. And in the meantime, Dragon, you and I, we're definitely going to dive into some Marvel throughout the rest of December and the rest of January, because we're going to be talking about Daredevil. We're going to get back into Discerning Daredevil, all leading up to covering Luke Cage for Black History Month in February. So yeah, look forward to that. And that's it. That's what's going on with the channel for the next month or so. So Dragon, take us out.
First of all, again, Merry Christmas to everyone again.
Oh yeah, of course. Merry Christmases, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah to Monkey and other Jewish folks and whatnot and so on.
And Festivus, so Happy Festivus.
Of course. Crazy Kwanzaa.
Yeah. Well, kids.
Oh, God.
Time to dash away all. But as we wave goodbye, don't you cry. We'll be back again next time.
Breathe it more seasonal shenanigans.
La 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 la. Messy, messy, messy.